Well, for the latest on this story, let's talk to Nick Spicer. He's our correspondent in Berlin. Nick, what can you tell us about this decision in those two states to suspend the AstraZeneca vaccine for those under 60?
Well, there's new data from a medical institute which suggests that some people have been suffering from a thrombosis in the brain. Sinus vein thrombosis is the technical term, which can, of course, kill you. However, there have been 2.7 million vaccines administered, 9 deaths. So it's not clear that that is really a statistically significant number. This is the second time Berlin has suspended the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine. After the first suspension, the European Medical Agency said it was worth taking the risk, which was minimal, and that actually you didn't stand a chance of dying in any significant higher proportion than if you didn't take the vaccine, that it was statistically irrelevant. And that caused several countries, including France and Germany, to resume the use of this vaccine. However, there's a lot of doubt about the possible danger. And I think that is what the medical authorities have been reacting to here in Germany, to this new data. The health ministers of the 16 regions will be getting together in a video conference, of course, to determine what to do about this new data. And the significant thing here is that Germany, of course, is a federation. It's not the Chancellor, Angela Merkel, who gets to decide what happens nationally, but the 16 regional governors. And there's really been a lot of dissonance, if you will, or cacophony even, as to what to do about various vaccines and lockdowns.
It may look, Nick, at least from the outside, that there's a little bit of sort of mixed messaging from Germany here as to the safety of the AstraZeneca vaccine. How are people feeling about the rollout and what's been happening in the last few weeks?
If you just go back 1 week to, the beginning of last week, Angela Merkel and the 16 regional governors had decided a really hard lockdown for Easter. 5 days of no shopping at all. You had to stay at home, couldn't really gather with your family or even travel. And then 34 hours, forgive me, after that decision, Merkel went on national TV, apologized to all of Germans for the confusion, and said that there wasn't time to apply the measures. And after that, she went on TV and said that the regional governors weren't taking this seriously enough. There's been some not quite name calling, but shifting of the blame back and forth. And really the impression that average Germans get is that nobody's really in charge nationally. The decisions are taken regionally. The decisions as to the vaccines seem to be changing every now and then. I personally talked to my doctor this morning who said I could be vaccinated in 2 weeks. Looks like that's off the table. I'm not sure what the criteria were. It's really confusing, I think, is what the opinion polls are showing. But significantly, 2/3 of Germans support Angela Merkel's tough line stance on fighting the virus. And I think that the regional governors who are not as strong behind lockdowns as she is may suffer political consequences. And perhaps that is one of the reasons why here in Berlin, at least, the local authorities have proceeded with an abundance of caution and suspended the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine. And we'll find out after those health ministers meeting today what comes of it.
Indeed. Nick Spicer for us in Berlin. Thank you very much indeed for that update.